I think it's two things that's driving this, right? One is the need to sensationalize things, right? In order for clicks and views, you have to create a sensational product, and a lot of that comes from disrespecting women or just creating viral moments. And in doing so, you may garner more support for your platform and bring people to you, but the ultimate net is a net negative because you incentivize men to think that that's how they're supposed to behave with women. You also it's to the point now, if you're on a platform and you being neutral, they'll call you a simp. If you agree with a woman, they'll call you a simp. It could be your independent idea. They'll accuse you of simping and pandering because it's not the same idea as them. If you're not extremely far left or far right male centered, they'll call you a simp. They are demonizing these things to the point where I see married men get up on a platform and they'll speak about women as if they experiencing the hellhounds, knowing good and well you got a good wife at home and your life is great or at least pleasing, and you won't speak to it because you don't want to be rejected by the men. You as people that stand up here and talk about all the things wrong with women when they got a woman that they can exemplify. And you could talk about the positives and then tell these brothers don't get married. And they look at you like, yeah, I ain't getting married. All the stuff you told me about women, and maybe behind the scenes or maybe on a one-on-one, you'll be like, oh, well, it ain't that bad, young blood. But you done told 7,000 people that this is what it is. And if they just take you at face value, they're going to walk away from this thinking that the women are the worst thing. They are number one. You know, what type of nigga think women is their number one enemy? That's ridiculous, bro.
Wow.
Like that shit is crazy at the end of the day. That shit is completely crazy, especially people that are in happy relationships. Like, how do you not want that for other people? And then it's to the point where if you go up and say you like you want to talk about leadership, is standing in a group of men who gonna demonize you for saying you love women and doing what's right by women and still saying that shit. Like, I don't get no fuck. Fuck is y'all talking about? My woman good to me. I love her. And simp, okay.
For my
And
wife?
I'm telling you for your
Stand on that
benefit.
shit, boy.
For
I'm
my
telling
wife?
you.
I'm a simp for my wife?
I'm telling you not. It don't help me none. I'm trying to get you across the finish line so you could experience what's on the other side. And you gonna name call me. You gonna cast dispersions to me, trying to assist you to get out of this the space you in. But you will listen to the person that's gonna tell you their negative experience. It's like when I don't know if y'all ever dated a woman that didn't keep y'all personal business within the house. Like, you date a woman, y'all get into it, and then she run and go tell her family the negative. Y'all make up. You keep dating her, then she run and go tell her family the negative. When you go around the family, they don't like you, and you trying to figure out why they don't like you. It's because she let her emotions get out of control, said something about you, and maybe it was hyperbolic. It's extreme, and when you okay, and when she okay, and it don't bother her no more, that's implanted in her family mind about you. So now it's uncomfortable at Thanksgiving. We essentially are doing that with women and these young boys. I heard a young boy who clearly ain't moved out the house yet, talking about these women broke the family up and all this other. But you haven't even had no experience in this yet, and you already coming out dissatisfied with women and all those things. And that's not to say that women don't do things wrong. They absolutely do. But come on now, we can't be shoveling this to them, because at the end of the day, if you don't like the outcomes you got with women, right? It's a good chance that if all the women you dealt with, maybe it wasn't them. Maybe there's something that you didn't understand that you haven't been able to get over the hump with. And instead of figuring that out, you're going to project that onto these young men who will in turn have those same responses. We have to do better as men, bro. We have to do better as men.
1,000, bro.
Yeah. Somebody made a comment that I just missed it. He said the red pill taught me about female nature when my OGs didn't. Like, just the sometimes when you say stuff out loud, you don't hear how ridiculous it is. Like, how can you make a comment on what to have a subjective knowledge of what female nature is? These red pill platforms are teaching men about a certain type of women, mainly like the types of women that they dealt with that were manipulative or ratchet in the past and have done and like are typically like that, but that's not female nature. Like you just need to learn how to correctly choose a virtuous woman. Like that's the problem, is that these platforms are able to like just distort people's minds into believing that all people are this one way. And that's, that's really the problem that I have with them.
I think,
and it's not to say that these women don't exist that do this. We should be teaching them how to identify the signs of women that do things like that to avoid those women.
I think that's what he was referring to, though.
All women.
I think that's what he was referring to, the guy that commented, because I can't sit here and say that all red pill content was bad, because a lot of dudes did learn a lot of different things, like because they had questions about why women did certain things around them, and a lot of red pill content did help and explain that away. Now, is there some content out there that kind of fucks it up? Yeah, but I think that a lot of it started good in nature. They try, you know what I mean? It started off as what we look at the red pill as is it's supposed to be the truth. Hey, you came to me, you had blinders on it. Therefore, here's what's really happening around you. So I think it all started in a good place. And of course, we got our good and bad in every space. Because I've heard female nature on these panels used a lot. And I'm just talking about amongst the 9 people on this panel, I've heard it several times. Now, Nelson, you wasn't on a lot of panels. You wasn't on any, but I could tell across the other 8 of us, I done heard it several times. So it just depends on, like, you know what I mean? It depends on what is being said. But there is a lot of content that have taught men that, hey, these are the signs that you recognize in a woman to find out what she's about. And
I think
I've heard that on red pill content.
They're factions now, right? So just like you had Bloods, you had Crips, you got Democrats or Republicans. Right now, you can't even talk at the dinner table if I'm a Democrat, you a Republican. It separates families sometimes because it's a faction. Now you either red pill or you blue pill. They feel like it's a movement now, right? And like Sweeney said, it did start out, in my opinion, with good intent, right? They were trying to help people. But right now, social media, especially post-pandemic, everybody was trying to find a way to get a bag. So they came up with these talking points, and people are just warping these talking points, right? And they're trying to make it seem as if every woman has the same exact nature. I'm like, that right there, when I hear people speak like that, I can tell you have no experience with women. If you feel like you could put every woman in a box, the first thing I'm thinking if I see a woman is how I'm going to approach her. You know, you can't approach women with the same line because you know she's a little different. You looking at her demeanor, she might be this way. Like, there's so many different things that you have to size up before you go up to them, and you can't come to every woman with the same line. That alone lets you know that women are a bit different, and that a lot of people just don't understand that. One thing that I've learned to do in life, right? I wouldn't take financial advice from people who aren't doing well financially, right? I think we have to take the time to say, look, is this person in a position that I want to be in? Are they successful at what it is that I want to do? And what is it that you want to do? Are they doing what you want to do? If this guy's single, right, and he's just beating up on all the females, and you want to get married, you can't follow that guy. You can't. Because he can't give you the way. He can tell you how to go ahead and manipulate all these women, but he's not married. So you're trying to obtain women and retaining women. That's two different things. It's not going to help you. You just learn how to womanize versus actually being a good husband and starting a family. And that's, James, I know you mentioned that, family. And a lot of people don't see the importance of family anymore. We don't care about it. It's not important to us. All we care about is our own selfish needs. And we've came up with this idea that's so dark right now. It's became so dark. We are so pessimistic when we look at the opposite sex. It's disheartening because it's not really like that. Even if you think it's really like that, just think about your mom. Just think about your sister. Just think about some of your cousins. Just think about some of your close friends. You can't tell me that everybody is like that. You can't tell me that you don't know some good females out here who are doing the right thing. There are some females who just want to love. There are a lot of them that don't know how to, but it doesn't mean that they're not willing to learn. It doesn't mean that you can't work with them. But a lot of these people are so one-track minded, men and women alike. Just be very careful as to who you watch. Make sure that they are saying things that really make sense, not just talking point. And hopefully they have some experience.